I never see Bogan Jath take one drink.
Yeah, you didn't drink or smoke this entire movie.
Not even a hip flask.
Yeah.
I was making cigarette gestures quite a few times, but
for an audio podcast,
it was more of an informing my delivery of things than anything else. It doesn't really come up.
We have to address Bogan's drinking problem in the next game.
We are absolutely, we're literally going to do a film noir, so it'll be a perfect time for it.
You're listening to Reignite, a podcast where we save the galaxy. Again, I'm MJ.
And I am Matt, aka Stormageddon.
And for this episode, we are bringing back Blasto and his team. Instead of Josh running a game for us, this time my husband took over as GM and ran a game for us called Blasto, Eternity is Forever. Joining us for this is our pal Brian. John's running the game. And then we have Case, myself, and Matt reprising our previous characters. Why don't we let everybody know who we are and what we're playing?
Sure, why don't you start?
So, I play Lutanna Rix. I am a roguish Turian with a lot of biotic and melee abilities. I joke that Lutanna was supposed to have a backdoor pilot to get her own series, but it never happened because the ratings just weren't going to reflect. And that's really it.
Okay, great.
Case?
All right, I'm Case, and I am playing
Bogan Jath, a hard-drinking, hard-smoking Solarian sniper. But yes, Bogan Jath is a sniper of the highest order, and yet is constantly second fiddle to Blasto. But perhaps that will change when, once Blasto dies.
And I'm Matt, aka Stormageddon, co-host of Reignite, and I am reprising my role as the titular character, Blasto, the Hanar Spectre, who doesn't give a damn about anything except getting the mission done. Or does he? Maybe he has a heart of gold. We'll find out. I'm really excited to play this character again. We had so much fun in the last game, and we're hoping to do more of these more frequently. We're still sorting that out, but I'm really excited to see what John has cooked up for us.
And rounding out our party is Brian.
I'm Brian Chang. I love Mass Effect. And I still play the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, the co-op, because it's great. I have a lot of merch. I even have a Mass Effect snowboard. Anyways, my character is Azure Sun. So I've made an Asari who's obsessed with humans. She's fairly young. She was actually started as an exotic dancer, and then she met some humans while she was dancing, and she thought it was really cool, and decided to become a commando because that's even cooler, and she gets to meet more humans. And yeah, she's bubbly, effervescent, and she's not the brightest. She thinks Mike Shinoda and 20th and 21st century singers are human philosophers, but she's just so nice about it.
Yeah. And we love her for it. So before I do have a thing that I want to say, because I want to make sure that I shout out who wrote and illustrated the thing. So today we're going to be playing an adaptation of the Blasto graphic novel, which has the same name as our campaign, Blasto Eternity is Forever. It was written by Mac Walters and illustrated by Omar Francia. This is my very first time ever writing a one-shot, so if it runs long, which I'm fairly certain it will, you're welcome. Enjoy. Drive to a very far away place and enjoy the whole thing in one go. Hello, and welcome to a special advanced screening of Blasto's latest movie, Blasto, Eternity is Forever. Before we start the movie, we have a special behind-the-scenes treat for you all. A short interview with the cast. First up is Azure Sun. Azure, why don't you tell us how you got involved with the Blasto franchise?
Hi, yeah, it's so cool to be on this project. So I actually met the casting director in this bar I was dancing at. Shout out to Element 79. Anyways, he could just tell how good of an actor I was because there was a Tyrion there. Oh my God, he was so boring, talking about calibrating guns all the time. But I made him feel like he was the most interesting person in the whole station. He said that for that kind of realism is just what he wanted. Also, I gave him a mind-blowing lap dance for free.
Wow, that's fascinating. Thank you so much for that wonderful answer. What's it like playing Azure Sun?
Well, Azure Sun in this movie is the Azure Sun I see myself being in 50 years, I mean, I'm just getting started as a commando now, and I know that my letters have to get a lot more blood on them before I'm elite or something, but the Azure in this movie, Spectre, Candidate, oh my God, It's the dream.
That's wonderful. I'm sure we're all looking forward to seeing you in this movie and what the Azure Sun of the future is going to look like. Next up, we've got everyone's favorite Solarian, Bogan Jath. Bogan, how'd you get involved with the Blasto franchise?
Picture this. Flashback to Blasto 2. Bombs over Bateria. Now, it was a critical failure, but a commercial success, and so a green light obviously was going to go forward with. And it was decided that, well, we need to freshen things up, and so it was thought, perhaps we should bring in some additional talent to sort of balance out the, shall we say, monotone voice that Blasto often presents itself with. It's a Hanar thing. So I happen to have some friends, you might remember this guy, his name is Kulan Gan. He was a particularly talkative shuttle pilot in 2. He was actually also a producer, and that's why his scene was not cut. And so he recommended me, and I got dragged over to the production. I saw the script. I was like, this is actually pretty good. It can make use of my talents. And, I negotiated some stuff, got an EP deal, and that's how we are here.
That is truly fascinating. I didn't know that about Blasto 2. I'm going to have to go back and watch it again just to take in all this new information that you've given me.
I mean, the amount of money it brought in typically overshadows the fact that critics at the time were not big fans.
Of course. Now, what's it like playing Bogan Jath, Solarian Sniper?
Well, look. I mean, for one thing, we all know whose name is on the title. That's fine. But everyone's always going to know that the kill shot came from Jath.
I remember that from when Blasto saved Christmas. You really carried that scene.
Yeah, I'm fairly accustomed, despite my slight frame, to carrying the weight of many things.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Next up, we've got Lutanna Rix. Lutanna, how did you get involved with the Blasto franchise?
Well, when I was originally approached to take part in the Blasto franchise, it was pitched to me as a backdoor pilot for my own series, where I would get to play a fast-talking rogue with a heart of gold. But unfortunately, Lutanna in the Blasto series became so popular that to separate her from Blasto wouldn't result in the same kind of viewership. So, Lutanna, sticking it out with Blasto for now.
I think that is a travesty of the movie industry. I, for one, would love a Lutanna Rix spinoff, but I don't get to make these decisions, so we'll just have to see what the future holds. But what's it like playing Lutanna Rix?
Oh, I love playing Lutanna Rix. I've always been a sucker for dual wielding, so being the kind of person who gets to just come in with 2 Omni Blades and take charge. I love it. Lutanna is so much fun.
And she's so much fun to watch. All right, folks, that's going to do it for our little interview segment here. Now, if you'll all grab hold of your seats.
Excuse me.
Oh, how could I forget the reason for the season? The one, the only. We saved him for lasto. It's Blasto.
This one is a little offended, but this one can live with it. Hello, all of my adoring fans. It is this one, Blasto.
I think it goes without saying, but how did you get involved with the Blasto franchise?
Well, to be honest, this one was trying their hand at serious pictures, award-winning movies, and when this one got bored of those, this one decided to branch into action, where this one could truly expand its tentacles and grow. And this one has now created a franchise to uplift those other lesser talents who might need some help, or great talents who run alongside with me. You can determine who of the cast is which. That said, this franchise has changed this one's movie career, and this one couldn't be prouder of the kinds of things we're doing, because even the critical misgivings of some movies, they are all commercial successes, and this one is very proud of that.
Of course. Yeah, you launched something that has shaken the galaxy. What is it like playing Blasto, the fictional Hanar Spectre?
This one applies a lot of their own philosophies to playing Blasto. This one admires classic Earther actors like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone. This one hopes to bring that kind of charisma to modern cinema by emulating these absolute classics of cinema from long Earth past. I've watched a lot of Earth action movies, actually. This one is obsessed with the likes of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and even Jason Statham. This one thinks that they have a talent as humans that this one can be inspired by, even if they are just humans.
A wonderful answer. Jason Statham is a personal favorite of mine as well.
I just want to say that this one is more of a fan of Cary Grant.
Now, with that unfortunate faux pas out of the way, I do so sincerely apologize for that, Blasto. Let's get started with our movie. So, ladies and gentlemen, Hold on to your seats, hold on to your butts, hold on to your best friend beside you. My partner in the recording studio has just grabbed me by the head. It's now time for Blasto. Eternity is forever.
You said to grab your best friend. I did.
Ever since they saved Krogamus, Blasto and his friends have been something of a team. And while they didn't always see eye to eye, they worked well together. And the council wanted that teamwork to continue. Now, before we continue, really quickly, I just want to get everyone's take on being forced to work together as a team. Because, Bogan, I know that you and Blasto have had a rather contentious past, so I can justify this for your characters if you want, but how do you feel about it?
Do you mean when the cameras are rolling or when behind closed doors?
Yeah. How does
We're in the movie now.
We're in the movie now. How does Bogan Jath, the character, feel about being forced to work with Blasto, the Hanar Spectre who left him for dead on Vermeer?
Listen. When it comes to a mission, obviously, we're going to make sure that we both see the next sunrise, but we're not sharing drinks with each other these days.
It's completely fair. Lutanna Rix, how does it feel to now be sort of under the council's thumb and being part of a team?
Oh, I hate it.
Yeah.
This is the worst.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be off having adventures by myself.
I know, but now you're on the council's radar and they don't want to let you go. You're too valuable a resource.
I don't like it.
As your son, as a brand new Spectre candidate, how does it feel to get to work with the illustrious Blasto himself?
Oh, he is like my role model because I the stories you tell with the 6 tentacles and the blasting in every direction and the design, the biotics, it's just incredible. He is everything I aspire to be as a Spectre and everything any Spectre should aspire to be. He is the pinnacle of Spectredom.
Now, Blasto, very effusive flattery aside, how does it feel to be saddled with a team?
This one is used to working solo, but this one must admit that we're proud of what we accomplished, and this one begrudgingly will work with this team if it gets the job done, because this one is a professional first. Even if a certain Solarian feels like he's dragging down the team, when it comes down to it, he does come through in a pinch.
Dragging down the team, but also carrying everyone's ass.
God, I wish you two would just kiss already.
I've seen that ship fix.
So as folks may have noticed, we're not joined by Burlock Palak this time. We've got a new companion to the Blasto team, Azure's son, brand new Spectre candidate, who's been sent off on this mission with Blasto to observe to determine whether or not she's actually going to join the Spectres. Burlock Palak, along with all the Krogan, has been called back to Tachanka for a crush that Erdnot Rex is called. It seems Rex is hell-bent on uniting the Krogan clans, and Palak is needed as a representative of Clan Burlock. Thus, when the rest of the party set off on their latest mission, Palak was unable to join them. Scene. We fade in on a warehouse, squat, dingy, in serious need of repair. You can see holes in the sheet metal siding where rust has begun to eat through, and the streetlights surrounding the warehouse flicker intermittently. The air feels cold and sharp on your skin as all of you roll a perception check.
10 plus 1, 11.
7.
Well, I rolled a nat 1, so that is a 4.
Oh,
19.
Okay.
hey, the carry.
Okay, so Blasto, Bogan, you have no idea what's going on. Might think that you're asleep for all you know, because it's very, very dark. Feels a little cold, which is weird for dream time, but maybe it's a bad dream. As your son, with that 11, you know that you are tied to a chair with a bag over your head. Lutanna, with that 19, you also know that you are tied to a chair with a bag over your head, but you remember what you were doing right before you got knocked out. You and the Blasto team were all on the Batarian world of Aratat, tracking down Grell Drellbane, a fearsome Batarian warlord and slaver. But you are all tied to your chairs. Blasto, in addition to being tied to your chair, although it might take you a little bit longer to realize this, the Mass Effect field that allows you to ambulate off of your homeworld has been turned off. What do you all do?
That feels ableist.
I mean, they're villains.
The Batarians aren't going to take any chances with Blasto. He's Blasto.
I try and struggle to see if I can get free and realize that I'm mostly a pile of jelly and can't move very much.
If Blasto has some kind of like Batman-esque utility belt thing that can get his Mass Effect field back on, I'm willing to let you justify that. Otherwise, you're probably going to need help to get out of these bonds. But Lutanna and Azure, you know that you're tied up, and you don't think that you're in Dream time. So.
Azure's going to try to slip her bond. She's a pretty lithe figure.
Okay. Azure's going to try and slip her bonds. Lutanna, what are you going to do?
Same.
Okay. Bogan, if you want to try and just roll another perception check, see if you're figuring it out. I assume your party members are making sounds by this point.
Sure, I'm woozy and humming the words.
Love is just a chemical reaction.
And so that one is a 16 on a perception check.
Okay.
At which point I note the coarseness of the bag over my head.
Yeah, you know everything that Lutanna knows now. You know what your mission was. You know why you're here. You are focused. You have recovered from your grogginess. If you can use either strength or dexterity to try and slip from your bonds, if you want to try and stealth out of them or rip out of them, it's just rope. But roll that for me.
Acrobatics or sleight of hand?
This is just a dexterity or strength check.
Straight up. Okay.
I got a 9.
Okay, Lutanna, you are unable to get free of your bonds.
Goddess, what kind of party were we at last night? 22.
Okay, Azure Sun, you are free. Bogan, are you trying to get free of your bonds?
It's just the flat check. Okay. All right. Well, in that case, that's a 14.
Okay, Bogan Jath and Azure Sun, you are free of your bonds. As you do that, you hear a voice that you all recognize as Grell Drellbane say,
"If it isn't Blasto and his merry band of merry-making miscreants, looks like I've got you right where I want you."
and in the background you hear a bunch of Vorcha saying, "Yeah, we're gonna kill him. We're gonna eat them. We're gonna eat them. Yeah, eat them, eat them." And then they're all just shouting, "Eat them, eat them, eat them." They don't realize yet that 2 of that party are free.
Azure's going to move over to Blasto and try to free him and turn on his anti-grav device.
Okay, so as you rip the bag off of your head, you notice that you are surrounded. The room that you find yourself in is cold and dirty. A single light hangs down from the ceiling, casting a dim and inconsistent light around the space. In the room with you are 11 Batarians, unarmored, 5 with old M7 Avenger assault rifles, 5 with pipes. The final Batarian is wearing light armor and carries a bigger gun. He's clearly the leader. He has an eye patch over one of his 4 eyes, so the audience can clearly tell he's a bad guy. Anyone who wants to try and, who got free of their bonds? Bogan and Azure. So if you want to try and free your other 2 party members, you are welcome to do that.
I was not going to immediately jump to rescuing them, seeing as how I haven't taken the mask off and I don't know what's in the room yet. So
That's fair. Azure Sun, you have the mask off of your head, and now you are the only person facing these 12 Batarians.
12? These aren't very fair odds. You should have brought more friends. And then I'll still try to free Blasto.
Okay, make for me just a dexterity check. Sleight of hand. What do you think you'd use to free Blasto?
Yeah, sleight of hand, untie his bonds deftly, quickly,
Okay.
I guess. Seems
Go for it.
24.
With that 24, you not only free Blasto of his bonds, but you also get his Mass Effect field turned on. So Blasto, you are up and ready. What do you do, Blasto?
I pull off the very large bag that must have been over my bulbous full body.
It's a huge, enormous bag, like sack race sized bag.
Actually, they just shoved you into a sack. That's really all.
Azure just dumps him out of the bag.
Yeah, I was in a bag. So, no, that's even better. So, this one springs out of his bag and goes, "Who's ready to go shopping?" And then points his guns at everyone. Wait, who wants to go shopping? This one doesn't think that line makes sense.
It's what the writers said. It tested well.
we can fix it in post.
Lutanna, if you want to try and make another check to get free.
Yeah, since nobody else is gonna.
No one else
fucking help
seems
me.
to want to help you, so if you want to
That's
just roll
cool.
another check.
Oh, that was a crit 1.
Yeah, you are unfortunately still tied up. Bogan, now Blasto and Azure are up and causing a ruckus.
Yeah, so I hear this and I go,
We're doing this. I guess we're doing this.
at which point I rise up and I take the chair and I try to just, I haven't removed my bag yet. I just pick up the chair and throw it straight forward, assuming that someone hostile is directly in front of me.
Wait, hold on. I need you to roll an attack. You're throwing a chair.
Yeah, no. I figured. All right, well, so this is a thrown weapon. It's for an improvised weapon, if you will. So That would just be my roll plus my base strength. So that is a 17.
That hits. Roll me 1d6 of damage for chair.
So that's a 2.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you hear a grunt as someone gets hit by a chair.
So let's be clear. I understand that the chair is not my offensive action so much as a distraction that I'm employing.
Yeah, no, you do that. Everyone roll for initiative.
Well, wait, hang on. So that's attack was one action that I was doing. Free object interaction is pulling the mask off, and then I was going to then try to look and move over towards Lutanna.
Okay, yeah, okay, go and do that.
Okay, so I'm going to use my adrenaline rush to try to untie her.
Okay, that's fine.
So that would be a 14.
Yes, that's Lutanna Rix is now free. You get the bag off of her head. You're all standing up. Everyone roll initiative. You all find yourself surrounded by these 12 Batarians.
I assume they're like in a loose circle around us.
They're all in a loose circle around you. One of them is clearly the bad guy because he's wearing armor and has an eye patch. He has an M7 Avenger rifle. Then the goons have either pistols or pipes, half and half.
My initiative, Blasto's, this one's initiative is 15.
16.
Azur's got an 11.
Okay. Bogan?
25.
I'm also
Out of game, we traded out sharpshooter for alert.
Yes. So that way Case doesn't do a base 30 damage before rolling his dice.
Appreciate that. You can stop showing up the star. Although I did some cool stuff in the last episode.
Okay. Bogan, you are up first. In a loose circle around you are 10 Batarians with pistols and pipes and one big bad guy named Grell Drellbane.
And we're all disarmed, right?
You are all disarmed. If you'd like to make a perception check to try and find your weapons, you can do that. But yeah, they took your weapons.
Yeah, I'm going to take a quick look around.
In fact, everyone roll perception for me just to see if you notice where your weapons are.
5.
That's a 12 on my perception check.
Okay, well, the DC was 12, so Bogan, you do know where your weapons are, but barely. And you can move to get them on your turn. That'll just be your move action, though, so you can still attack.
16.
13.
Okay, everyone but Azure knows where their weapons are and can move to get them on your turn. That will, again, just be your move action, so you will still be able to attack. They're within your 30-foot of movement.
Okay, so I am going to do I'm going to do a roll to get to where our weapons are lying. I'm guessing there's a pile with all of our gear and stuff.
Yeah, they've just got it, piled in, off to one side.
All right, so I'm going to pick up my sniper rifle, and then I'm going to do a kick to shove all of everyone else's gear towards them.
Sure.
This would be an athletics check.
Yeah, to kick them, right to them.
Yeah, so that's a 14.
Yeah, all of their guns now are in the center of the room at the chairs, which I assume everyone still is at because you haven't been able to move yet. So you've got your gun, everyone else has their guns right with them.
All right, and I am going to lock and load and fire off a shot, if I may.
Okay, absolutely you may. Yeah, you're action heroes. Do it.
Okay.
So that is a 17 on an attack roll. I guess I'm aiming for the one holding a gun.
Well, so there are 5 Batarian...
Or, pardon me, the big guy.
Okay.
The one holding the Avenger as opposed to...
Okay, so you're aiming for Grell Drellbane. Okay, that hits his AC. Roll damage.
All right, that's 5 damage on the first shot, and I'm going to use the gun's double tap feature for a bonus action shot.
Okay.
Which is probably going to miss with an 11.
Yes, that does not hit his AC, but you got everyone their guns. You took a shot off at the boss. You've had a very eventful and successful turn. Now the goons are going to go. They are going to act as 2 swarms, one with pipes, one with guns. So the swarm with guns is going to draw a bead on Bogan Jath because he is the only one currently with a weapon who's done anything. And that is a 9, which does not beat your AC, I'm absolutely certain.
That would be correct.
So all the goons pull out their pistols, they point them at you, they shoot, and as you crouch down to fire off with your sniper rifle, they just all go over your head. Next up is going to be Lutanna Rix.
Okay, so I'm going to use my Nightshade Blades. My Omni tool is equipped with 3 microscopic poison-tipped blades that are able to pierce through shields and armor. I make a ranged weapon attack on a creature I can see within range, expending 1 blade. I add my proficiency bonus to the roll. On a hit, the target takes 1d12 poison damage and must succeed on a Constitution saving throw, DC 8 plus proficiency, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. And I am going to attack Grell Drillbane.
Okay, you're going to attack the Bostarian. Cool.
Yes, and I have advantage. So, which d20 is least likely to betray me? Alright, so first roll, that is a 16.
That hits.
So 1d12. I know what I'm doing, I promise. 11.
Okay, you deal 11 damage to him. That's a big, tasty
Oh,
hit.
actually, it's 2d12 because I'm level 5. So 11 plus 4. 15. And now he's poisoned.
Well, he's going to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yep.
Which is going to be 8 plus your proficiency bonus.
Yes.
Okay, tell me what your proficiency bonus is, please.
3.
Okay, so I have to beat an 11.
Yes.
Okay, I don't. I
You
rolled
poisoned,
a
baby.
I rolled a 5, and there's no bonus that I can add that will. So he's poisoned. I don't know exactly what that means, but we can deal with that. I guess on his turn.
I think it means this creature has disadvantage on its Constitution save.
Attacks and saving throws, I think.
Yeah.
Nope, that's powerful poison, which is an
sorry.
upgrade for your Nightshade.
Yeah.
Let's just say that he has disadvantage on attack rolls because he's sick. We'll make it up. Your action heroes. It's going to be my justification for every time I bend the rules in this game, so everyone get off my back.
But I also get an extra attack, so I'm going to use my Biotic Punch on whatever goon is nearest me.
Yeah, there's some pipe-wielding goons that have begun to move in on you to swing on you all.
Uh-oh.
Increase the mass of your fist and strike at a target. Make a melee spell attack on a target within range. On a hit, deal 1d8 bludgeoning damage. Okay. That is a 12.
That hit.
10.
Okay. One of the goons is dead. You punch one of the pipe-wielding goons in the head, and he falls like a sack of earth potatoes.
As opposed to Batarian potatoes, which taste very different.
Different.
Batarian potatoes.
Batarian potatoes float.
Yeah, they don't
They
fall.
don't fall. Oh,
Yeah,
got it.
no, they're not weak like earth potatoes. But Batarian potatoes have never suffered a blight.
That's fair.
Right.
Fair.
This is a call-out post for the Irish lumper. Get good, scrub. It's Bostarian's turn. Grell Drillbane is super not happy that y'all have been taking him to clown school with all of these gnarly attacks. So he's going to take out his M7 Avenger, and he's going to point it at the person who has dealt the most damage to him so far, Lutanna Rix.
Whoops.
Yeah, well. That is going to be a 9 versus your AC.
No.
Okay. So he misses, and it is now Blasto. You are up.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is use a cunning action to engage my tactical cloak.
Okay.
Which is just an extra action on top of my normal actions. As I do it, I say, keep him busy. This one's got a plan, and then I vanish.
This one thinks the plan should be shoot the motherfucker.
Blasto is gone. That's our one F-bomb, by the way. This is PG-13. That was our only one.
That's the only one we get.
I feel pretty good about that one.
So Blasto's gonna, while cloaked, move to pick up his weapons. His weapon is 2 shurikens, and then he's gonna move behind 2 mooks, whichever ones, pipe, guns, whoever, and put his guns to their back, to the back of their heads, and goes, "This one wants to know, do you feel lucky?"
They say, "No, you don't."
And then I'm gonna roll 2 attacks to take them out with sneak attack damage.
Okay. Yep.
A 15 and a 17 plus.
They hit. You don't have to math. They hit.
They hit. Great.
Their AC is Garbo. They're goons.
And then I will roll. They are 2d4 each plus sneak attack damage. So the total damage is 2, 4, 6, 10, 16, 19 damage. So split that in half to each of them, I guess. Or I can divide it if that's easier for you.
Okay, 2 goons die.
Okay.
Yeah, they say, "Do you feel lucky, punk?" They say, "No, we don't," and then they die.
And then, of course, I come out of cloak and I go, "Who's next?"
So you just took out 2 of the pipe-wielding goons, so the 3 remaining ones say,
Us.
and then they swing on you.
Okay.
That is going to be a 14 versus your AC.
14.
So tie goes to the runner. They hit you.
Yep.
You're going to get hit with 11 points of damage as all 3 of them swing on you
Okay.
as a swarm, and they don't feel good. You're Blasto. How dare they? Last up is Azure's Son. Your gun has been kicked to you. Thank you for waiting so patiently. What are you gonna do, Spectre in maybe?
Azure will stomp down her foot, kick up her twin M9 Tempest submachine guns, and say your prayers, little one, and then hose them down with.
We're all bigger than you. I don't understand. We're all much larger than you. You're kind of.
And then you shoot them.
And then I shoot them with burst fire from the M9 Tempest. I'll shoot them again the second time because I have extra attack. And then because I have Gunslinger, I will then shoot a second spray of burst fire in a 4 meter by 4 meter cube. So I'm just gonna.
How many times are you going to hit them?
3.
Because I don't. 3?
Three AoE attacks.
Okay. All right. Okay, we'll say that you can hit. Are you aiming for the pipe or the gun wielding ones?
The pipe one since they're clustered up.
Okay. Yeah, you can hit all 3 of them if you roll good enough.
Okay, well, each creature in the area must succeed a DC 15 dexterity saving throws or take the weapon's normal damage. So
okay,
3 DC 15 checks for
I
them.
roll for this.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. 1 saves, 1 doesn't. 2 save, 1 doesn't.
Three checks for each of them.
3 checks for each of them.
Attack 3 times. Yes.
Oh Lord. Okay.
I'm overheating my M9, just blasting.
They're acting as a swarm, so I am going to just treat that as 3 checks for all 3 of them. So they save twice.
Okay. I guess they just take the damage once then, which is going to be 10 points of piercing damage.
Okay. They all die. All 3 of them died.
There's just bullets bouncing everywhere as she giggles with glee.
You fire an ungodly amount of bullets, and they die pretty quickly, but you just keep shooting them because you want to make sure that
now
they are
smaller. And then she stamps her feet and pulls up her biotic barriers.
She only misses that last one because the bodies had already hit the floor.
Dude, yes. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies floor. It's raining men. Hallelujah. It's Bogan's turn.
Okay, well, Bogan is... How close are people to me at this point?
So all of the pipe-wielding ones are dead. There are 4 pistol-wielding ones and Grell Drellbane left. They're all still... The pistol-wielding ones haven't moved. So you moved over and got your gun. So they're about 10 feet away from you on the other side of the circle. And Grell is kind of next to them. So they're all about 10 feet away from you.
I would like to back up further.
Okay.
If I can.
Yeah, you've got another 5 feet of space before you get to the wall.
All right. Yeah, so my main goal is just to put some distance between me and these people, and then I'm going to light them up.
Okay.
So I'm going to aim for Grell.
Okay.
All right. So that's a 21 on the first attack.
That hits.
So that does 13 points of damage on the first attack.
Okay.
Then a nat 20 on the second one.
Okay.
So that's... And I'm going to expend a superiority dice on this to boost the damage. So that one's 28 points of damage.
How much was the damage before you did that superiority die? Just so I know.
That was a 20.
Okay, so that already killed him.
Oh, okay, great.
So yeah, he only had 17 hit points left before that second attack. So you overkilled him.
All right. Well, I wouldn't know that. I still burn the superiority die. Let's be honest here. I was shooting to kill.
That's fair. I respect that character choice. Your first bullet catches him high in the chest, and it rocks him pretty hard, so much so that he drops his gun. And you immediately follow it up with a second shot that goes right through his eye patch, and he just falls like a marionette that's had its strings cut. Now there are 4 remaining Batarians with guns, and they all look at each other real scared. So if someone wants to make
If they're
an
real
intimidate-
scared, I have one more attack.
Listen, you can make that attack if you want. You can roll to intimidate. You can do whatever you want.
All right, I'm going to do my bonus action being like,
Now, I think that negotiations are in order.
Yeah, what do you want? We'll give you whatever, man. If you want to die.
Well, let's start with your guns. Hand over your guns, please.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they all put their guns down on the ground and they kick them over towards the center of the room and they say,
Can we go?
No, absolutely not.
Oh God.
Absolutely not. Let's continue up this line of inquiry with, would you be so kind as to sit down, please?
Yeah.
and they just all sit down.
Like in the chairs, it's on the ground.
Chairs are fine. We don't need to cause any sort of back pain for you all.
Yeah, luckily there are only
Four of them,
there are four of them,
four of
4
us.
chairs. It's perfect. Yeah, it's almost like I wrote it this way. I didn't. They all sit down in the chairs.
Now, I was a little woozy when I came to, so I'm having some trouble on this one. So, what in the name of the Dollatress happened here?
So Grell was gonna take over the world not the world, the galaxy, to get back at the Citadel for, making slavery illegal and not letting Batarians do that because that's oppressing us and we don't want it. So we were gonna, but we figured the best thing to do to take over the galaxy was to take out the Council's big gun, Blasto. So, we let slip about our plan, you all came here to capture us, and we pumped some sleepy time gas into, the antechamber where you came in, and then you went to sleep. And then we were gonna, torture you for a bit, and then, murder you. Yeah.
That went real well.
Yeah,
Good plan.
yeah.
Not cool, bro.
Listen, it worked great right up until the Asari just sort of ripped free of. In retrospect, we shouldn't have used rope. That was poor planning on our part, but the Solarian had no idea he even had a bag over his head. We thought it would work.
Well, you shouldn't underestimate Blasto, the greatest specter in the galaxy.
Yeah, that's on us for sexism, I guess. Are you gonna kill us or no?
Blasto slips into frame, holding the rest of the pistols in his other hand.
They all flinch. They flinch horribly. They're trembling in abject terror.
This one is undecided on that result. This one wants to know
Oh yeah.
who was
Oh,
behind
yeah.
all of this. Did it end with your boss?
This is just Act 1, homie. This is yeah. It's just us.
Then I think this one is going to take you into the Citadel, put you in prison so you can rot there
I
forever.
guess it's better than dying.
Seems like a lot of work. I think we should just leave him here.
Well, we'll have the Citadel pick them up. I begin to tie them all up to the chairs based with the bonds that we had.
Yeah, none of you guys actually broke the rope. You all just slipped out of it and untied it. So there's plenty of rope available. You tie them all up to the chairs, and you lift your Omni tool up to make that call to the Citadel. But it's flashing. You've got a call coming in, Blasto.
I pick it up.
Okay, so the on the Omnitool, the face that pops up on the display is your Turian handler from the Spectre office, Scipio Africanus, and he says, "Blasto, how'd the mission go?" It's a real Roman general.
no,
Get
I
off
know
my
who
back.
it is. He defeated Hannibal.
Get off my back! He's a real guy.
I laughed because it was a real thing.
This is what happens when a historian is a DM.
Yeah, and then the Tyrians are Romans.
Yeah, basically.
This one had great success. The team has been victorious. We have 4 crooks waiting for you for pickup who can confess and give the details of the entire plot.
That's wonderful, Blasto, but we need you back at the Citadel ASAP because it got bad.
This one's on his way with his team. Please send a CSEC crew to sweep up this garbage.
Yeah, we will just, beam us your coordinates. We'll be right there. I will see you as quick as possible. Put the pedal to the metal because who Nelly. And then he hangs up.
I hang up the call. We have to get back to the Citadel. This one just got some disturbing information from our handler.
Okay, so unless anyone has anything else that they want to do, we're gonna fade out to the Citadel.
It's ironic. These Batarians wanted to protect their right to have slaves, and now they'll be sentenced to hard labor.
Yeah. It's irony of the.
It's the Batarians talking.
It's irony of the worst kind.
Isn't it ironic?
Fade out. Back on the Citadel, the shining city on a hill, in space, Blasto deftly pulls his ship into his ultra double secret Spectre dock, and he and the team take the private elevator right up to Blasto's private quarters. Matt, why don't you describe to us what Blasto's apartment looks like?
I will. I'll do it out of character, as that'll be easier, so I won't have to keep saying this one. Blasto's apartment is large, obviously. It has a large master bedroom, an open area, a personal galaxy map, as well as a war room of sorts. It's a mess. There's files everywhere. There is a conspiracy board with yarn running all over on one side. You don't even know what it's about. The pictures don't even make sense.
But they make sense to Blasto.
That's the important part.
Right. A large master bathroom with a standing shower, because, of course, and a giant kitchen that looks like it's never been touched with an empty fridge and tons of takeout boxes everywhere.
This all sounds right. This is canon now. BioWare, you're welcome.
Yes.
So now, you're all in Blasto's apartment, and I don't know if you've ever been here before. That's up for you guys to decide. I know that not all of you are biggest fans of Blasto. Maybe you haven't come over for, like pasta carbonara and some good red wine. But,
Was he Russo?
yeah. No, Blasto doesn't deserve that.
Azure is fighting back the urge to just pilfer a souvenir.
I mean, there's plenty of stuff if you want to roll a sleight of hand check. Or if you're just going to resist that urge, that's fine.
No, I would get caught. He's Blasto.
No, of course. Bogan, how do you feel
Bogan looks around and silently judges everything. The decor, everything. It's like,
I've definitely got better versions of all this.
Yeah, maybe he makes a snide comment about like the neo-futurism that Blasto has as interior design. Like, that's so gauche.
exactly. The
Blasto, your decorator should be fired. Everything is last year's style, and none of it is particularly of quality.
This one cares more about getting the job done than where he lives.
Oh, snap!
But thank you.
Lutanna, how do you feel about being in Blast's apartment, or do you just not care?
It's a mix of not caring and also like, this is what my apartment looks like.
Weird. Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like we didn't want to design what other apartments look like when we made this movie.
More than one set.
Exactly. Yeah.
One set for multiple apartments. I walk to the war table and bring up my contact, whose name I've already forgotten.
Yeah. So again, actually, as you go to do that, your war table lights up with a holographic bright red phone. It's weird because it's an Earth phone, but it's ringing off the hook. And you know, Blasto, the red phone, who Nelly.
Is that the council line? Please tell me that's the council line.
It's not the council line. It is just like the ultra emergency, drop everything right now, please, Blasto, God, please.
I type on my Omni tool and pick up the call on the war table.
Okay, it is your handler, Scipio Africanus. He says, Blasto, I'm glad you're back. I hope you've got a shovel handy, because we're in deep shit. Cronus is loose. Now, Blasto, you know who Cronus is, because you're the one who captured him. Cronus is a Krogan scientist with plans of galactic conquest and a penchant for time-based puns. You personally apprehended him, and you took him to Purgatory Station, where you were assured he was never getting out. The rest of you have no idea who Cronus is, because this was a very secret Spectre mission, and no one's ever heard of it before.
None of us were in this movie.
Yeah, none of you were in, that's the origin story for Blasto movie, which we'll be releasing, in a few years. Don't worry about it.
Blasto slams on the table. You guaranteed this one that he would never escape. How did it happen?
How does the rest of the party react to this name that they've never heard and Blasto freaking out a bit?
Oh gosh, oh no, let's go kill him.
Azure's concerned if Blasto's concerned.
Lutanna doesn't care.
No.
Lutanna doesn't care. That's fair.
Lutanna's just like...
Lutanna and I are both aware that Blasto is a bit of a drama queen.
Yeah, Lutanna's just looking at Blasto like, you cool? You cool, bud?
Yeah.
Do you need, like, some anti-anxiety medication? Should we get you some Prozac?
Scipio looks on as as your party does not react the way that he may be expected, but then he remembers that, of course, no one knows who Cronus is except for Blasto, the Spectre office, the council, and the people at Purgatory, probably. And he says to you, we don't know exactly what happened. All we know is that Purgatory stopped transmitting. I've already sent in 3 other specters, all dead. I only know that because the third was able to get word before something got to him. He'd hacked into this station computer and discovered Cronus' destination, the planet Vermeer in the Hawk system. Make a history check to see what you all know about Vermeer and the events that happened there during the game Mass Effect 1.
Oh no.
15.
15.
9.
Would I have advantage on this one since canonically I did have a mission on Vermeer with Blasto?
You would have advantage on this to know stuff about Vermeer, not necessarily to know... I don't know if that mission was the Vermeer mission.
Oh no, it definitely wasn't.
Okay, then yes, you and Blasto would have advantage on it, but 15 is enough. Did we get 2 15s, a 19, and a what?
I had a 25.
Ooh, wow. Okay, so you all know. Okay, so you all know about the events that happened on Vermeer in Mass Effect 1. You know that Commander Shepard and his team went there to stop Saren's Krogan breeding facility. You know that they detonated a nuclear bomb on there. And you know that it's left Vermeer pretty much uninhabitable for all this time. But a nuclear wasteland ain't gonna stop a Krogan, is it? So this might be a good time for Bogan and Blasto to hash out their Vermeer beef, because it sounds like you're gonna have to go back to the site of your greatest betrayal.
This one is nervous because Kronos is one of my greatest threats. I imprisoned him hoping he would never escape. He's a Krogan scientist, I know. He's a Krogan scientist and one of the most evil and pentacular villains I have ever fought. This one is nervous that he is back on Vermeer, as no good comes of going to Vermeer. No good has happened at Vermeer since the major events of Commander Shepard and beyond. And this one thinks we have to leave immediately to apprehend him. He is a deranged scientist with no goal other than to destroy everything he touches.
Oh, that sounds awful, but to secure peace is to prepare for war. The notable Earthling philosopher James Hetfield said that.
Vermeer, the spot where I thought I was left to die by you, Blasto. If I hadn't been able to hotwire that speeder to get into orbit so I could be picked up by a rescue ship, I would have been left to die. By you.
How long are you going to hold this grudge? This one knew you would be resourceful enough to escape. This one wouldn't have left you to die if he actually thought you would die.
Well, obviously I was resourceful enough to escape. I'm me.
This one trusted that you would get out of there alive. And this one has graciously accepted your help. If Hanar are capable of rolling their eyes, he just rolled his eyes, or whatever the Hanar equivalent of rolling one's eyes is.
Just making circles with his tentacles.
Exactly. But this one promises this mission won't be like the last. We have to stop Kronos.
Listen, Blasto, I got hired on to work with you as your eyes in the sky and to make sure that you saw the light of day, but that doesn't mean that you can just allow me to go into the darkness. If we're teammates and we're going back to Vermeer together, then you need to promise me that you're going to do everything in your power to make sure that this team sees tomorrow.
I will not leave anyone behind. This one promises we will go and we will return, but we have to stop Kronos. This is imperative. It's world-ending, galaxy-ending, universe-ending stakes. Will you help me?
Ah, you know how it is, Blasto. The mission does come first. You know that, I know that. We agree about that, but you were my friend, and you left me to die. I thought that was the start of us being clutchmates in combat, but instead...
Scipio is eating popcorn in the background. He's still on the line.
Skip and I are just like,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
You moved on, and you got all the glory, and I was left to barely survive.
Scipio's tearing up.
Dang, Blasto, how can you do him like that?
This one does what it's necessary to get the job done. This one thought you understood that the mission comes first.
You hear Scipio clear his throat from the display. So...
You know I'm still on the line,
Yeah,
right?
anyway, Blasto, we need you and your crew to save Vermeer like you saved Krogbus. That was, he feels very awkward about this whole thing, like he was not expecting to be a part of this very private and intimate conversation full of sexual tension. And he's just trying to, like, push through it so he can get off the line, say what he needs to say. It was fine work, and we need you to do it again. You are the only agent we have who has faced Cronus and lived to tell the tale. And we have heard consistently great things about the rest of you. Lutanna Rix, deadliest biotic the Cabal ever let slip through their fingers. Bogan Jath, the Solarian who snipes as well with his words as he does with his gun. Azure's son, right? One of the best young commandos we've seen in the past 50 years. Fast-lined to Spectre training. Getting sent out on a mission with Blasto himself. We expect great things of all of you. So you might not be the heroes that the Citadel deserves, but you are the ones we need right now. So can we count on you?
Yes.
Just point me at that problem. I'll take care of it.
No one makes more precise clocks than Solarians. You can always count on us.
Yeah, okay.
That's just the type of pun that you're gonna get on Vermeer. And he hangs up. So, Blasto, here's what you know about Cronus, and you can choose to share as much of this with the party as you want. He's a brilliant Krogan scientist. Not just brilliant by Krogan standards, even the Solarian STG was impressed by his tech when they took it in for study after your last mission with him. He's smaller than the average Krogan, which means he could only throw all of you about half of a human hand-egg field instead of a full one. Cronus loves to set up traps, and you can bet that he's riddled Vermeer with them. Because of the nuclear blast set up on Vermeer 2 years prior, the planet is largely uninhabitable. A perfect spot for a Krogan hell-bent on building an army. And if anything managed to survive that explosion, Cronus could clone himself an army of Krogan juggernauts. So, it's mission prep time. What do you all do?
I share this information with everyone, and I bring up the file on the war table on Cronus so they can also read for themselves additional details.
Bogan, you probably in particular are pretty impressed by what you see here. Solarian STG didn't let you know about this while you were working with them, but, I mean, you've got first-hand experience with the best of the best in the tech world.
Yeah, all of these are very impressive indeed.
As you can tell by his name, Cronus specializes in time-based technology.
Might suggest a two-pronged approach, where we open with a salvo of there's no kill like overkill, and we blast whatever base that we can identify from high orbit. And then, anticipating that his time-based technology will allow him to negate that, we simultaneously have a drop team go down, which would be us, obviously, so that when time gets... I'm just inferring. When he resets time to not get destroyed from space, we then just go and directly attack him.
This one thinks that's a sound plan. I think a distraction would be great. This one's concern is what salvo ship we can bring along, as this one's cruiser doesn't have that kind of firepower.
Yeah, Blasto's ship, whose name I forgot from the previous one, has some guns on it, because he's Blasto. Of course he's got some guns on his ship. But it's a light frigate. Like, picture, like, the Normandy, but the Hanars made it. And also, like, it maybe has just, like, a few more guns, because he's Blasto, and of course he does. But, like, it's not a... picture the name of a bigger ship that I can't think of right now.
Sure, but you're a Spectre. Could you commandeer and/or requisition a ship to accompany us?
Can we get the Destiny Ascension? That would be really, really cool.
Blasto, you know, based on dealing with Cronus in the past and with the kind of secrecy that your missions usually entail, that the Council wouldn't want you to requisition anything that would cause a big fuss. There's a few things you could probably get away with, but something the size of like a destroyer-class ship, they probably wouldn't let happen just because it's going to raise a lot of eyebrows.
This one thinks that the extent of this mission will not allow us to require those resources. However, this one believes that we can probably get a stealth squad to distract the front gates while we go in the back. It's not a salvo, but it'll be something to draw their attention while we sneak in. And we can use my ship to sneak in, as it does have stealth technology, not unlike the classic Normandy.
The Vermeer's in their terminus systems, isn't it? Yeah, the Terrans and all the other people out there probably get pretty upset if we brought in some dreadnoughts.
My young cadet friend also makes a good point.
I think of the political situation. That's why they're picking me up.
Sure. We don't need necessarily a salvo of large cannons, but maybe a salvo of long-range torpedoes that come in. We could probably make that one work, right?
Blasto's ship comes equipped with a torpedo bay, and you could probably get some of them launched off towards Cronus' base, absolutely.
Yeah, and have them come in from a different trajectory, since, torpedoes hold controlled assault point. Have them come in from one way, providing the distraction so that we come in from the other.
That should work. We can also bring some Spectre ops with us to man the ship while we take the back approach.
This all sounds good to me, the omnipotent narrator.
All right, shall we star wipe then to putting the plan in effect, or do we need a montage of prepping the ship and loading guns and like getting ready?
Yeah, no, we have a brief montage as you all like pack up your stuff and you load onto the ship, and you requisition your Spectre Ops team, and they give you 3 people to just like man the ship, make sure that no one steals it while you're gone. Just sort of hold your egress point. But they're all like, Blasto, they're weenies. Like, they're not you, they're weenies. So like they're gonna be a very limited help on the ground. That's gonna pretty much be up to you guys. But you all board onto the ship and you fly off. And as we remember from the last movie, Blasto's ship comes equipped with a lot of stuff. So everyone can grab themselves some Metagel if they don't have any on their character sheet. And everyone can grab themselves a grenade if they like.
Blasto is back to full HP and is resting and just cleaning his guns.
Yeah, no, you've all had your rest. All of your stuff is back. It's a long flight to Vermeer, so you're all going to be back up at full. And you can grab each a metapack or 2 and a grenade from Blasto's armory on the flight over. But then it's just we will be there at Vermeer. Montage is over. You're all set and ready on stuff. Figure out whatever grenade you might want to grab while we're doing this, because I don't want to waste time. Vermeer.
I grabbed a flashbang just to have on.
Perfect.
Lift grenade.
You don't need to tell me what they are now. I trust you all to to do it right and to not just be like, I grab a nuclear grenade, because that doesn't exist. That's not a thing. Vermeer was a lush frontier world, ideal for colonization by carbon-based species. Its vast seas and orbital position on the inner life zone have created a wide equatorial band of humid tropical terrain. But now, a massive crater mars its surface where Saren's cloning facility, which is totally classified BT-dubs, once stood. And the atmosphere is too radioactive for most sapient species to survive on. Everyone make a survival check.
Oh no, and that one.
Oh, you die.
9.
Yeah.
15.
Okay.
You don't survive. You failed your survival check.
17.
Okay, Lutanna and Azure, you both know that even though the planet is radioactive, shielding on your suits will protect you just fine from the radiation, especially if you don't just spend too much time in it. Bogan, you're terrified of
I'm also
getting...
immune.
You're also immune to that, so that's great. Bogan, you're convinced... You are absolutely convinced with that Nat 1 that the second you step on that planet, you're going to get cancer. So we're going to have to deal with that.
This is how my career ends. This is not how I wanted it to be. I didn't want to go back to Vermeer in the first place.
Blasto, you just don't know. You think that you'll be fine because you're Blasto and you're always fine, but you don't know. Maybe you eat radiation. We're going to find out. But you're all going to have to deal with the fact that Bogan is now too scared to get off this ship.
Bogan, look, you're only gonna live, another 2 years anyways? What's cancer gonna do to you?
Oh, burn. I mean, Azure's right, but come on, you're Bogan Jath.
To be fair, how old is Bogan Jath at this point? Because Solarians only live to be 40.
Right, yeah, no, I figured he was somewhere in the ballpark of about 20.
Okay, fair. So halfway through your lifespan, that makes sense.
But he's very vain, he's, he canonically has, a greenish spray tan on. He's trying to look younger, he's trying to look like he's in his mid-teens.
It's time for your midlife crisis to make you reckless.
Plus, has this one ever steered you wrong? Don't answer that.
I wouldn't answer that if you were. Yeah.
I was gonna say roll a persuasion check, Lutanna, but Blasto just opened his fat mouth, so now you have disadvantage on that check.
Oh no.
Because Blasto has steered him wrong. We know this canonically.
Wait, so I still have to roll?
Yep.
Damn.
Unless you don't want to, and you just want to leave Bogan here.
Well, I rolled an 8 just now. And then I rolled another 8.
Okay, what is your, do you have any bonuses to persuasion?
We don't have a face, do we?
Me, actually.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I do actually, so 12.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah, 12 is enough. Bogan is still a little jittery.
I forget, my deception and persuasion are actually pretty
Yeah, so Bogan, you're still a little scared. Maybe we'll have some fun moments with that as we go through Vermeer, but you have been convinced that, they've convinced you that the science is sound. Your shields will hold, and that more than anything I think, convinces you that you will be okay.
Yep, must keep my shields up.
Absolutely. Do not ever let them fall.
Azur's going to brew up some human coffee and then tell him that it's also a human anti-radiation medication.
Yeah, so,
It might as well be, I guess.
basically, yeah. So you are approaching Vermeer now. And I know that you had planned to fire off a torpedo from high orbit, so, who is manning the guns? Blasto is flying.
Well, we are going to have the Spectre Ops handle that because we need to be on the ground when they fire so
Right.
we can sneak in the back during the chaos.
The crew's just going to launch some torpedoes. Doesn't have to be very accurate.
Okay, so you want to fly into Vermeer, land,
We'll get dropped off.
right? Then they'll come back up and do that for you.
Right, because we have a cloak.
So you're going to fire them from the ground.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the ship will be cloaked and they can take off after they've fired.
All right, so Blasto, you are flying the ship. You are a wonderful pilot. It's been smooth sailing the whole way. Who is manning the? Who's keeping an eye on your radar, sonar, scanner, bippity bops?
My protege, my Padawan, as it were.
Okay, Azure's son, make an investigation check.
Uh-oh.
Azure doesn't have a lot of intelligence, do they?
She thinks James Hetfield is a human philosopher. Come on. She's a 10. Her charisma's an 18.
But
I rolled
same,
7.
though.
7.
What? 7? Okay. So you look down at the scanner. You're trying to find where Cronus set up his facility, but you can't find it. It all just looks like a blasted wasteland as far as you're concerned.
There's too much
maybe you wanna-
radiation in this blast, though. We're going to have to search.
Lutanna looks over at Azure's shoulder, being like, yeah, that looks right.
If someone wants to try and help Azure out and take a look at this, someone who might have a higher intelligence score, it might be better investigating, by all means. Otherwise, I guess you're just entering Atmo.
I convince my Solarian protege to assist.
Is everyone Blasto's protege?
Well, Rix is his apprentice.
All right, let me take a look at this.
Okay, that's a little bit better there. How is an 18?
Yeah, an 18 is totally fine. You find where Cronus's facility is, or what you think might be Cronus's facility. It's a newly constructed building. It's on one of Vermeer's islands, relatively close to the site of Saren's old facility, but it's not directly on top of it. You also detect the presence of a number of AA towers locking onto your ship.
God damn it.
That's fun.
I thought that we were cloaked!
How? We're cloaked. Did we not turn the cloak
Cronus is
on?
very good technology. Also, as we remember from cloaking technology, it prevents you from showing up on radar. It does nothing if they just look up. So, I don't know if there's a piloting skill. If there is, Matt, I'm going to need you to roll that. Otherwise, it's a dexterity save.
There is vehicle handling.
15 on vehicle handling.
That is exactly what I set the DC at. Yeah, the DC was 15 to not get shot down.
We don't get shot down. Hooray!
Yeah. So, Blasto, you managed to deftly weave your ship in and out of these AA shells as they fire on your ship. It's a bit harrowing for the crew at times. The Spectre team that you all brought on to watch the ship is maybe a little terrified right now, but you all brace yourselves very well, and you manage to land the ship safely within spitting distance of Cronus's facility, but not directly on top of it, because you don't want to just land your ship on what might be a giant trap. So you've landed the ship. What do you do?
Gather my gear and get ready to head out. I update the crew. This one thinks you should be safe here, but that said, once we're on the ground, feel free to reposition yourself and keep in constant contact with this one.
Yeah.
On the secure channel.
Yeah, you got it, boss. I love you. Wait, shit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
This one thinks you should be. Now get to work.
Lutanna, like, pats them on the shoulder,
They
next
all
time.
they all salute very sheepishly, and then they just all turn to some consoles and they start like pretending to do work, but they're all just like really embarrassed. Especially the guy who said that he loves Blasto. Like, what a nerd, right? So you all, like, the gangplank descends, the shuttle bay door opens, and you all step out onto the surface of Vermeer.
Lutanna and Azure probably carry Bogan Jath down the ramp.
Yep.
I don't want to go out.
It's fine. Your shield is still up.
That might change soon, though, because as you leave the ship, you see Cronus's facility in the distance, and about halfway between you and the facility, you see a number of Loki mechs and a Krogan in armor. They all point at you. Roll for initiative.
Azure strikes a cool pose with both her guns out.
All of the Loki mechs are painted a brilliant Tuchanka red, kind of like Iron Man red. Like,
The hot rod red.
Yeah, hot rod red. Yeah, like if you've played Andromeda, you know what Tuchanka grit looks like. Yeah, it's that.
All right, that's a dirty 20 for me.
15.
13.
Flat 10 on the initiative.
Okay, so just to set the scene for you, you have all descended the ship, and then I assume you immediately send the gangplank back up so that your ship isn't just like standing open to be boarded, just in case the worst happens. Not that
Correct.
it would. You're action heroes, after all.
There's a cool squad shot as the ship takes off behind us.
Absolutely. Does the ship take off behind you? Is that what you told them to do?
Well, we said for them to reposition, yeah.
Okay, Matt, I want you to roll a piloting check for the Spectre officer that you left in charge of that, because those AA towers are still in operation.
Stay low, fly underneath their ceiling.
Yeah, I wouldn't have had them go back into orbit. I told them to reposition so they'll stay low and the AA cannons aim high, don't they? Okay. 15.
They pass. That was the DC. The DC was 15. I like that you rolled exactly the save DC each time, so your ship does not get shot down, and they will be successful
Thank
in
God.
their endeavor. But you all have 10 hot rod red Loki mechs approaching you, and a Krogan in medium armor. The Loki mechs all have M6 Carnifex pistols, and the Krogan has a Grawl spike thrower, and they are about 50 feet away from you, halfway between you and the facility.
Okay.
First up is Bogan Jath.
Well, I'm going to run for cover, if there's any such thing.
Yeah, there's some rocks. There's like some rocks and boulders nearby. You can, within your movement, get to some place that you can use as cover in a shooting stand. That'll give them disadvantage on shots against you. They'll have partial cover.
Okay, yeah, fucking running for that. So I run over there, and I guess I'm gonna shoot the Krogan. So that seems to make the most sense as opposed to the mechs with my sniper rifle.
Okay.
So I'm going to fire off my first shot, and that is a 23.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay,
Leave the mechs to me. I got them.
so that's 13 damage on the first shot.
Okay.
That's a 26.
Yeah, that hits.
And I'm spending a superiority dice on this one.
I think we're going to see some pink mist pretty soon.
I mean, this is a Krogan. They're pretty hardy.
Fair.
That does 17 points of damage.
Okay. Yeah, he takes those hits, and it looks like it just makes him angrier.
Well, I'm going to keep making him angrier. I'm going to take my bonus action attack right now. And that one doesn't do so well. That's a 12.
That misses.
Okay.
Your first two, like, connect with some meaty bits, but your third one just bounces right off his breastplate, and he laughs at you.
All right. I'm going to let that one be where I end.
And then he winces because he did still get shot twice.
That's good, Bruce.
Just like with the previous fight, I'm going to treat these 10 Loki as 2 swarms of 5 so that I'm not rolling for 10 whole-ass attacks. That's insane, and I would hate it, and it would be very boring. So one of the swarms of Loki mechs is going to pick up their Carnifex pistols, and they are going to point at the biggest, most obvious target that there is. You guessed it, Blasto. They rolled a nat 20.
Yike.
That's gonna leave a mark.
It was nice knowing you, Blasto.
Let's see, where's my
Is this
D8?
the end of Blasto?
Tune in next time.
They are going to deal to you 15 points of damage as all 5 of them shoot and hit you with these big old heavy pistols.
Remind me how shields work in this.
It's temp HP up front, and then it resets it after each combat.
Got it. Okay, so, and the total was how much damage? 15, you said?
They dealt 15 damage to you,
Right,
yes.
so I take 10.
Okay. Oh, because you have 5 shield.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now I know how shields work, because I did not.
So we all start with, we all have 5 shields in our base armors?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, and it just works as it's 5 temp HP effectively that resets at the end of each combat.
Cool.
Okay, thank you for that. Now I know.
Oh no, his shields are down. He's gonna get the cancer.
Well, these are kinetic shields, which are different than your radiation shields.
But he doesn't know that, remember?
I am too scared of the radiation regardless.
That's fair.
Blasto eats radiation for breakfast. He'll be fine.
So, Lutanna Rix, you are up next.
Okay, I am also going to take cover, and I am going to do a biotic throw.
Beautiful. Love it. Who are you aiming at?
I'll probably aim at a mech. Don't fail me. You failed me! I rolled a 10.
That does not hit their AC.
Boo.
Next up is going to be Azure Sun.
She starts kind of singing, chanting on her breath. Because I'm hyped up, out of control. If it's a fight, I'm ready to go. So I'm putting up my barrier as a bonus action, and then you said they're 15 feet away?
They were 50 feet away, and they are approaching you.
Okay, so how close did that group of 5 get?
Oh, the group of 5 who shot at Blasto, they moved about 10 feet closer, so they're 40 feet away.
Damn it.
All of your
Okay.
guns should be able to hit something 40 feet away, can't they?
Sure, but I'm trying to do some melee shit. I'm a vanguard.
Oh, that's fair. I mean,
I am too!
what's the range on charge?
14.
14
14 feet? 14 meters.
Yeah.
meters.
It's all in meters,
That would
yeah.
make 40 feet.
That would, yeah.
I want to move in and Nova is what I want to do.
I mean, they are within charge range.
I didn't want to be the only one in there when I charged, that's why I waited.
Yeah, I can't charge and then Nova, though, is the problem.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're Loki mechs. They don't want to close into melee range because they don't do that. They don't melee. On the Krogan's turn, though, fun stuff's going to happen.
True.
Okay,
Yay.
what Azure is going to do is after she pulls up her bear, she's going to move forward. She's going to go off at an angle, try to take some cover, and then I'm going to try to line up as many mechs as I can to catch them into a shockwave with a 10-meter long line, a 30-foot long line.
Okay.
And I can move 30 feet, 10 meters myself, so I should be able to get on the other side reasonably
You
well.
can get 3 of the Loki mechs with your shockwave.
Sounds good. They need to make dexterity saving throws, please.
Okay. What am I trying to beat?
The DC is 15.
Okay, 1 fails. 1 fails. 1 rolls a nat 1, so they all fail. Roll damage.
Fantastic. 12 points of force damage. And knocked prone.
Okay, yeah, they are knocked prone, but they are not dead yet, but they're looking very, very rough. Very, very worse for wear.
Ha! Take that!
Yeah, it's now going to be the other swarm's turn, so that's going to be the 5 who blah, blah, blah have not gone yet. They're going to move 20 feet closer, and then they are going to shoot at Azure Sun, because she did a big thing. They rolled a 13 versus your AC.
14!
Okay, great. So they all shoot at you, and they miss, and you are safe. Next up is Blasto.
Thank you. Next.
Blasto looks at the camera and goes, "Now this one will be back in a moment," and then hits his tactical cloak and vanishes.
There's the Adam West Batman music as you vanish.
I reappear behind the untouched swarm of Loki mechs, and I will try and, with my first attack, take them. So I'm just going to try and take out 2 mechs with my shurikens. 17.
Yes, that hits.
And so I will roll damage plus sneak attack damage for both mechs. I think it's 2d6. 1 mech takes 13 damage.
Okay, one of the mechs has died because you put a bunch of bullets in the back of his head. He's dead. You are now in the mix with 4 other Loki mechs, but one of them has died. It is now the Krogan's turn, and he is going to bull rush Blasto for a shove attack to try and knock him to the ground.
Okay.
Okay, make a contested strength roll. So you're going to roll a strength check. I'm going to roll a strength check. We're going to see who wins.
Oh boy.
12.
I rolled a 24.
Yeah, that's a Krogan, all right.
Yes.
Yeah. So you have been. It has not done any damage to you, but you have been pushed to the ground, so you are now prone. And it is Bogan's turn.
Oh no, Blasto! I guess if we're gonna have our moment of resolution on this planet and come to terms, I need to make sure you see tomorrow too.
So I guess I'm just gonna shoot the guy. A bunch. A lot, you might say.
Yeah. If you're going to do multiple attacks, just roll them all up top.
I am using my adrenaline rush.
Okay. So how many attacks are you doing?
5.
Okay, just roll all of your d20s so we know how many hit.
Alright, so does a 12 hit?
A 12 does not hit.
Does a 14 hit?
It does not.
Okay, but a 17.
Yes, a 17 hits.
Okay, so he gets hit 3 times.
Okay, he gets hit 3 times. Roll damage.
Okay.
More DACA.
Okay, so he takes a total of 31 points of piercing damage.
He is super not happy about that. He is bloodied.
Dang.
I shout out,
Suppressing fire!
He's well and truly suppressed. I'm gonna say, just because you hit him 3 times with a giant sniper rifle, that he's actually pushed back 5 feet. I guess in this we use meters, so he's pushed back 2 meters from Blasto as he stumbles back from your insane shots at him, which gives Blasto a little bit of breathing room. It's now going to be the one of the mech swarms' turn. 3 of them are prone, so they stand up, and the 5 of them are going to shoot at Bogan Jath, who just, wrecked their boss's shop. Does a 21 beat your AC?
a 21 does.
They are going to deal 10 damage to you.
Oh no, my shields!
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. You have partial cover. They have disadvantage. Hold on. Does a 14 beat your AC?
It does not.
Okay, then ignore what I just said. I forgot you had partial cover. You are safe.
Haha, my shields!
You think you get hit because you get hit with some flecks of rock.
Ooh, scary.
But you're fine, actually. You're just a big baby.
Confirmed!
It is Lutanna's turn.
Okay, I am going to charge into the swarm of mechs that just tried to attack Bogan.
Okay. Yep, there's 5 of them. They're all standing.
It does not provoke opportunity attacks. And the target must make a dexterity saving throw.
Yes. Yes, 13 is your save. They rolled a 15, so they have saved, but I think they still take half damage. They're just not knocked prone.
Yeah.
Charge, no damage because it's a cantrip.
Oh, they don't take any damage for it? But you still have an extra attack, I believe?
Yep.
Okay, so you're in the mix now.
I'm going to use my Omni Blade.
Okay.
Don't fail me. Excellent. That's 23.
Yes, you hit them.
Do 1 damage. I cannot win today.
Well, luckily for you, the mechs that got hit with prone are pretty badly hurt, so one of them goes down as you slash across it with your Omni Blade. You're down to 8 mechs and a Krogan, who is at about half health. It is now Azure Sun's turn.
Damn it, you're in my way! She'll rush past Lutanna and get in as close as she can to the Krogan and as many mechs as possible, trying to just position herself in the middle of all of them.
Okay.
So how many can I get within 5 feet of myself like that? Including the Krogan. 2 meters.
Including the Krogan, you
Yes.
can get the Krogan and 2 mechs within 2 meters.
Perfect. Nova time.
Okay.
I burn my barriers into a biotic explosion in a 2-meter sphere around you. They all have to make dexterity saving throws.
Okay, I'm gonna do one for the Krogan. He rolls a 5. I don't care what his dexterity is. He's not saving. The mechs rolled a 3 and a 5. Everyone rolled hot garbage. I rolled a 5, 3, and then a 5. So they all take that hit.
Fantastic. They're all knocked prone and are going to take 6d8 damage.
That's a spicy meatball.
Yeah, it's Nova. It eats my defenses, but it hurts. Let's see, 10, 20, 25 damage to all three of them. And knocked prone.
Yeah, well, you don't have to worry about the mechs being knocked prone because they're dead. They explode.
She runs in, just,
Yeah, you worry for a second that the shrapnel from the exploded mechs might hurt you, but no, you're fine. I wouldn't do that to you because you just did an awesome thing. And the Krogan just lost half of his remaining health, so he's looking very much not good. He screams and says, I'll kill you, I'm going to kill you.
So I rolled too many dice, so 2 less damage.
They're still dead. He's still, it
Okay.
does not matter. In the long run of things, next up is one of the other mech swarms, and they're going to fire at Azure Sun, who just did a big ol' spicy meatball. There are 6 mechs left, so 2 of them are going to shoot at you for 17 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay.
2 separate hits.
No, they're acting as a swarm. So I roll I roll 1 attack for them, and then I roll a damage dice.
The reason I asked is because the way that my barrier works, I still have 2 ticks of my barrier, and every hit I take, I lose a barrier tick and reduce the damage by a d8.
Oh,
so I'm
okay.
not sure if you want to split these into multiple hits, or if just going to aggregate into 1 hit for the purposes of barrier.
It's just going to be 1 hit.
Okay.
So they are going to deal to you 4 damage. If you want to roll that d8 to reduce it.
Barrier reduces it by 5.
Okay, so you take no damage, but you have lost a barrier.
Yep.
Blasto, you are up.
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is stand up. Can I use Can I do an acrobatics check in an attempt to avoid an attack of opportunity?
It doesn't provoke an attack.
There's no opportunity attacks for standing up in 5th.
Oh, there is? Okay, great. Then never mind. Then I just get up with a flourish.
Yeah. You get up and it looks super cool. It's great.
The little spiral tornado thing.
Yeah. You do a kind of tornado, with your tentacles, whap, whap, whap across the face. It doesn't deal any damage, but you get his attention, I guess. And then, yeah, what do you want to do?
I put both of my shurikens in the face of the Krogan. So I'm going to get 2 full round attacks with each gun, but no sneak attack. So the first attack is a 17.
You might get sneak attack because I'm adjacent to it.
Oh, that's right.
Actually, yes.
Yeah.
You are flanking him, so you do get sneak attack. You have to beat a 16, so if you just want to roll all of your attacks, and we'll see which ones
and then
hit.
the second attack is higher. It's an 18 on the die.
Okay.
So the first attack does 11 damage, and then the second attack does 14 damage.
That was exactly how much health he had left after your first attack.
Kill
He's
stealer.
dead. Yeah, so, Blasto, do you want to add some flavor text to how you take this Krogan out?
Yeah. So as I rise, the first M Shuriken goes into his chest, and I pull the trigger, which exits his back, and then I jump back and put the second pistol in his face and goes, "This one thinks your time is up," and then pulls the trigger as it pierces his Krogan face.
Yeah, and he stays standing for longer than a being should after having his brains blown out. But then, like a mighty tree, he falls backwards. There are still 6 mechs, and they do not care to surrender to you, though.
No, I thought not.
However, it's Bogan's turn. There are 6 cherry red Loki mechs left, and Blasto just took down the bruiser.
I will fire off a couple of shots.
Okay.
All right, so aiming for the mechs. First shot's a 9. I'm not going to bother trying to make that better. Oh my god. Well, I'm going to spin a superiority dice on this 12 to see if I can make it a hit.
Their AC is a 14.
Okay, yeah, so that dirty 20 then becomes a hit.
Okay.
And third shot is 25 without doing anything, so I'm not going to spend one that way.
Yeah, that hits.
All right, so that's 2 hits then. Ugh, not great. It was like 14 total damage.
Yeah, you take out 2 of the remaining mechs. They've all kind of taken some damage at this point, but you take out 2 more. There are 4 mechs left. One of those mechs is going to shoot at Lutanna Rix. I don't think anyone's attacked you yet. They miss. They rolled a 9 total after I add stuff in. It's Lutanna's turn now. A robot just tried to shoot you.
I'm going to punch it.
Okay, yeah.
14 to hit.
Yes, that is their AC.
Great. 2d8. That's 6. 6 damage.
Yeah, one of the mechs dies. You are down to 3 mechs. 2 of them, actually no, the remaining 3, because that's how I now have the swarm split up in my head, are going to shoot at...
I get a second.
Oh, right, you get a second attack.
And I'm just gonna use my Omni Blade on him.
Okay.
So, again, that is... just 10 to hit.
Okay, that unfortunately does not do it.
So that's fine.
The 3 remaining mechs, who are all in one swarm, are going to shoot at... they're going to shoot at Lutanna because she's the one attacking them. They rolled a 10 to hit, and that does nothing. That's hot garbage. They're dumb robots. What do they know? Azure Sun, you are up. There are 3 left.
I think it's time for a bunch of automatic fire. She starts giggling, pulls up both M9 Tempest, and just sprays bullets in their general vicinity. Can I catch all 3 in a 4 meter by 4 meter cube?
Yes, is this your burst fire?
Yes, I'm burst firing 3 times.
Okay.
Am I in this cube?
You're fine. You're an action hero.
Okay.
They fail. You hit them with all 3 of them. I don't know what your damage roll on this is, but they're almost certainly dead. But let's see what that number is just for funsies.
12 damage for the first burst, 3 damage for the second burst, and 7 damage, so a total of 22.
So just as with the last time that you did burst fire in this way, they died after the first burst. You just kept on going. Your ammunition...
She's having too much fun.
Yeah, Blasto, you get the feeling that her ammunition budget, when she has to turn in her receipts to the Spectre office, is going to be massive.
Yeah, there's the overheat alarm from her Tempest, beep, 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 and she blows at it and then just ejects the thermal clip.
Yeah. So this fight is over. Congratulations. You hear some scattered applause from behind you as the Spectres are like, wow, that was so cool. Great job, Blasto. Great job, everyone.
I thought they left.
They did. You're right. So that didn't happen.
In our ears,
and
you hear it?
You hear it in your...
over the comms.
Yeah, they stayed over the comms. I'm not a liar. I didn't forget things in my own one shot.
Can we take a break?
Yes.
We've been doing this for 2 hours, and I'd like to go to the bathroom.
Yes.
If you like what you heard here, follow us all on social media. We're at ReignitePod on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram, Facebook.com/ReignitePod, or you can send us an email at reignitepod@gmail.com. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe on your favorite podcatcher if you can. It helps us get seen so other people can find us.
We're members of the Certain Point of View podcast network. You can visit certainpov.com to find more nerdy podcasts, each with a unique point of view. You can also find a permanent invite link to our Discord server and join in the conversation.
We'd like to thank Red Spanx for our It's Okay to Be a Marshmallow t-shirt on Redbubble, featuring our favorite marshmallow, Caden Alenko. You can find more of his work at Chaos Does Art on Instagram.
We'd also like to thank Case Aiken for developing more amazing t-shirt designs that you can also find at certainpov.com or on Teespring.
Thank you to David Boyle for designing our logo, which you can also get on a shirt through Redbubble. And finally, thank you to Dan Bull for letting us use the Mass Effect map for our theme music. I'm MJ.
I'm Matt, aka Stormageddon.
I'm John Lestrange.
I'm Case Aiken.
And I'm Brian.
We should go.
This is already going to be the longest episode you've ever put out by a long shot.
I'm debating about splitting it in 2.
I mean, we can
That's
do that
fair.
too.
You
Yeah.
can do that.
I don't know how long it's going to be after we cut stuff out, but it is over 4 hours.
Yeah.
And
I anticipated it being 4 hours.
And I am sorry for that.
No,
That's
it's
okay. It's a D&D session.
We can split it up amongst the season or just do them back to back. We'll figure it out.
Hey,
Oh, hey, Jeff.
what's going on, guys?
Oh, talking about Superman.
Oh, cool. I could talk about Superman.
I could talk some more about Superman.
We know.
I'll bet a few people would want to get in on this.
I'm down.
You know it.
That sounds like fun. I'll do it.
Cool, let's do it. We can call the show Men of Steel.
And you can find it at certainpov.com.
Or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yay.
CPOV. CertainPOV.com.